This is Haste Computer Repair. I'd like to welcome you to a review of the Lenovo ThinkPad T590 laptop in 2026. Before we move on, I'll pause here to just list out some of the basic specs, mainly being the CPU, RAM, display panel, Wi-Fi card, and that's about it for now. Currently running Windows 11 Pro on the laptop, as this thing already came preloaded with a Windows license written to BIOS as it came from government surplus. Therefore, this unit came from like a office somewhere in British Columbia, and I purchased it along with many others in order to get it back out there into the market. Of course, any number of Linux distros will also do, but I do find that Windows 11 Pro, just as an FYI, as of May 18th, 2026, it is actually running pretty smooth, and I would consider it a viable option if you're not into things like Linux. Here's a list of the input and output on the left-hand side of the laptop. And here is what you can expect on the right. And let's not forget about this little nano SIM card reader on the back. The characteristic ThinkPad keyboard is in full effect. I really like typing on this thing. And of course we have the inclusion of the numpad on the T590, which is always awesome. The touchpad is the same as what you can expect with this generation, and using the track point is of course pretty fluid as long as you're used to something like that, and you can use the buttons down here with your thumb and pinky or ring finger. And we have a 2-tier backlit system on the keyboard. And here's what it sounds and looks like using the 720p webcam and built-in mic on the T590. As you can see with my mouth and like moving my arms around, there's a lot of latency. Doesn't really look that great, but this is what you get. You know, it's good enough for like phone calls or other video calls, but probably nothing too professional. As I alluded to earlier, as of May 18th, 2026, Windows 11 does seem to be working a little bit more fluidly and accessing things like, say, control panel. There popped up right away, didn't get a weird link or ad. And as long as you have a quick internet connection at home, I mean, everything should be seamless, and we'll be using that 1080p panel to watch a lot of videos on YouTube, Netflix, whatever you like. Here's one of mine. And then moving on to using like Office 365, if that's something you like to do. I mean, this is all live right now in sequence, and yeah, you can get right to work right away. Keep in mind this is a fresh install of Windows, so I don't know, if you load up too many apps and too many pieces of software running in the background, you might have a slower, sluggier experience. And this also has 16 gigabytes of RAM, which does help. And the speakers located on a grill right down here below the display panel are actually not half bad. I mean, they're not the greatest, but they're not the worst. Let's take a listen. Yes, there's no bass, but whatever. One of my videos which uses this wireless mic right here sounds not too bad. You could install, for example, a Gen 4 NVMe SSD, but I think you'll hit a ceiling. So what I'd like to do now is bring a second T590 into the mix. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this one only has 8 gigabytes of soldered RAM currently installed. Or maybe it has a 4 gigabyte stick, I'm not too sure, but we'll find out in a moment. Because RAM prices are so incredibly high right now, even for older DDR4 SODIMM, I'm going to demonstrate with a couple tests what the difference might be with 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes. Can you get by with 8 for now? Or do you want to look for a model with 16? Depending on the price, you know, obviously 16 is the way to go, but if you're on a tight budget, 8 might just have to do. We are looking at used ThinkPads right now, and the value for the unit is there. However, the hardware is expensive, as I mentioned. So what we'll be doing is taking this one over to my workbench, and we'll be opening it up on the bottom, taking a look inside, installing an SSD, and maybe putting some new thermal paste onto the CPU die. So let's go check that out. Alright, so here we are at the workbench and I've already cleaned this thing up. Before we get started, let's take a quick moment to power this thing on and boot to BIOS. And you do this by pressing the Enter key. When you see the Lenovo splash screen, we want to hit F1. And from here we can navigate to Config, Power, scroll down a little bit, disable built-in battery, and yes. Now we're ready for service. So we're just going to remove the back panel and get to work. And you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver just like this one. And there's 8 screws back here, which I am highlighting right now. And each one should be held in with a washer so they're not going to come completely out. Here we go. Before you do this, you want to take out the Nano SIM card tray because it will impede you from getting the back panel off. Luckily, my iFixit kit does have such a tool that will work. Alright, now using this tool from my iFixit kit or something like a plastic guitar pick, we can score along the edge of the palm rest and the back cover to loosen it up. Just be careful not to be too rough as it's just held in by plastic clips that can break. And here's that big 57 watt-hour battery that we just disabled in BIOS. Right here is the one available DIMM slot for upgrades. As you can see, it's empty and we'll keep it empty because we're going to just work off of the 8 GB of soldered RAM that is on this motherboard just for comparison with the one with 16. And below this is the CPU die. We'll be removing that in just 1 second. Here's the heat pipe that leads all the way over here to this exhaust fan. While we have it open, we may as well add some new thermal paste to the CPU die, so let's get this off. Again, you just need a Phillips head screwdriver. Here is our M.2 slot. We'll be installing this Western Digital PC-SN720 PCIe 3x4 NVMe SSD. So unfortunately, it looks like the previous tech or whoever last handled this laptop kind of chewed up the screw. I'm just going to try some pliers because they do have a flat tip at the end. If you have to do this, just be very gentle that you don't do damage to the motherboard. I had to squeeze pretty hard, but it did work. I'll be finding a replacement for that because I'm not going to put myself or somebody else in that kind of torture. So to resume our motherboard tour, above the NVMe port is the WWAN port that you can put some different cards in so you can access the wireless network or satellite connections instead of relying on hotspotting your laptop. Up here is a connection to the display panel, and that's powering the speakers, which are up here. Looks like we have a link to a daughter board here that provides the RJ45 Ethernet port right there. That's the connection to the CMOS battery, connected via ribbon cable to the motherboard. I believe this would be a detection chip for moment to remove the battery, and I'll show you what's underneath. Just 3 screws to remove with your Phillips head screwdriver. It appears that this cable is connecting to the fingerprint reader, and this one is connecting to the touchpad. If you ever need to remove or replace that touchpad, you just are taking out these 4 screws, and the touchpad will come out. And of course, you remove that ribbon cable connection too and put it on the new touchpad. Fairly easy. Over here is where that smart card reader would go, and another ribbon cable connection to this USB port here. That's pretty much all I know and want to cover at the moment, so I'm going to put this all back together. I'll install Windows and we'll get to testing out the 2 laptops side by side. We have our 2 test subjects side by side, ready to go, ready to start this video render in DaVinci Resolve. On the left, we have 8 GB of RAM installed, soldered to the motherboard. On the right, we have 16 GB of RAM installed, 8 GB soldered to the motherboard, and 8 GB in one SODIMM. So pretty much the main idea is just to see how long it takes for each one to render and if 8 or 16 gigabytes really matters in this instance. So let's line them up. We're both ready to go and start. This is not exactly like the ideal use case for DaVinci Resolve on this laptop, though it is possible. The render will take a little while. We'll check back in when we're done. Over here on the 8 gigabyte laptop, so far we're using 6.2 gigabytes out of 8, and we are sitting at 20 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Likewise, on the 16 gigabyte computer, we are using about 7.8 gigabytes of RAM, and we have 15 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. So we do have a difference right now of about 4 minutes. There's around 19 minutes remaining. So anyway, let's see how it goes. We'll check in when it's done. The results are in with T590A. We finished in 20 minutes and 15 seconds. On T590B with 16 gigabytes of RAM, we finished in 17 minutes and 52 seconds, which leaves a difference of 2 minutes and 23 seconds between each laptop. So 2 minutes and 23 seconds may not sound like a lot, but it does add up if you're doing this type of work consistently. I mean, 2 minutes over the course of 100 projects, everything adds up. And I suppose, in a sense, time is money. So now we're ready to test out some games on this laptop. We're going to start with the 16 gigabyte version right here. I've got the 8 gigabyte loaded up over here. I can only do one at a time because I'm running Steam off of this external NVMe drive. And I'm going to record the gameplay footage on the 16 and then go over here and record on the 8 gigabyte version, and I'll play them back to back. Or rather, I will play them side by side. And then we'll be able to see what the frame rate's like and what the performance is like, if there's any difference. What I'm going to do is test out games that are reasonable to play on an older laptop like this with only integrated CPU graphics from 8th gen Intel. Left 4 Dead 2 is an easy one. The next one I'm going to try is Tomb Raider Game of the Year Edition. And that's going to test the system a little bit, but I think it's still going to be totally playable at an acceptable frame rate. So let's take a look at that footage and we'll come back and talk about it. So quick and dirty results, 16 gigabytes definitely makes a difference while gaming. So would I recommend the Lenovo ThinkPad T590 in 2026 and onward? 100%. Especially if you're just looking for a budget laptop, this is your best bet. In some cases, you're probably going to find these at a pretty decent deal, despite the expensive RAM and SSD prices right now. I mean, surf your local buy and sell, local resellers, or eBay, or hit me up, send me an email, and we'll do a shipping quote as long as I have some in stock. I'll probably offer them at a pretty reasonable price. Anyways, I want to thank you a lot for watching my video. I hope you have a great day, and maybe, yeah, let's go have a rest just like our guy down here. Bye for now.